for Geek Fam, who are going full in on mobility here. Ember Spirit, Earth Spirit, they really want to get on top of this OD before you get those BKBs out. It's gonna be very dangerous. All three of these heroes are not tanky enough against magic damage. They have decent armor. Tusk is somewhat tanky, but Mirana and DOD can very easily die in the early stages of the game.
And this is the right choice and the right path for Geek Fam. Going for the aggression lineup, being the ones able to initiate first and control the fight through vision and the way that they go in. Ember, Earth Spirit, both of these, well, every spirit basically in the game has an escape mechanism or some mobility spell. So the more the merrier. Don't want to have too many of them, though, in the team. At least you can't put one in the safe lane unless you're interested in maybe breaking spirits and going for the bathroom carry, but that also doesn't happen too often. We got the Pugna to kind of equalize a bit with this OD magical damage, too.
Yeah, you want to have some tower push, considering you have these mobile heroes. You have nothing to take the towers down, so Pugna gonna be doing well there. Womi did play some Pugna while he was still playing. I don't know if he came back to spawn, or are they still playing with a stand-in, but either way, this is quite nice. I also like the Earth Spirit approach here. You could have gone for let's say the Shaker with your position 4, just to have that potential to cancel out the Meteor Hammer if OD goes for it. But with the Earth Spirit, you can cancel the Meteor Hammer, but you can also go in his face if he decides to go for another build as well. So definitely a solid approach from Geek Fam. Fnatic, though, will go for the Brewmaster, and playing against Shadow Demon, Pugna, Earth Spirit, Ember Spirit. The spell is actually gonna be a big deal here.
Oh, this is a KP classic basically with the Brewmaster. Probably one of the best Brewmaster players in the game throughout all these years. So I wonder if he's still up to his sharpest edge here. The years of experience, but also Brewmaster does require a lot of microing and a lot of accuracy. And I think the accuracy is the key word when it comes to a lineup where you have snowballs and Mirana arrows that you have to worry about, that prisons too. One simple combo for Fnatic also with the prison arrow. We don't get to see it too often, but that is a great way to lock down and burst down a hero.
5 seconds.
For sure. Though KP has, with the games of Fnatic that I've seen, he has had issues of staying close to the top of the network chart with his offlane heroes. With the Brewmaster, that isn't that important. His laning stage was always good, but in the mid game he fell off most of the times. With the Brewmaster, you don't really need that much farm. If you get your ulti off, you're still gonna be doing quite well. So I think this might be the right approach. I don't know if it's a conscious decision, if he likes it really much in this game. It is a good Brewmaster game, but it is a type of hero that he's definitely gonna shine on.
Some resemblance of Fnatic has basically been how well Geek Fam's players have been popping off individually and as a unit. I just want to highlight quickly how well Januel from Fnatic has been playing throughout this tournament, especially when he's got that, remember that Enchantress that he had? He was completely nuts on it. Those games were a bit stompy for Fnatic, and they were having a little bit of fun too, but that also comes to show how talented this roster really is and how good it can be. Geek Fam, they're going all in with the aggression with this Beastmaster now added on top. So it is a formidable lineup, even though it doesn't look like your standard, oh, who's the carry? But I still really like this Geek Fam draft.
I like it as well, especially you're playing against the Brewmaster, so you constantly want to be the one starting the fight so that the Brewmaster uses his ulti defensively, and then you have like 2-3 seconds when you're gonna be getting out. Fnatic, I like that they are gonna try to match the tempo, but unlike Geek Fam, their ability to push down towers is very, very limited. So I kind of like Geek Fam's lineup a bit more. I think with the speed that their heroes have, and with the tower push, that they can overtake the map very fast and be a nuisance to Fnatic.
Gabby has played one game of Pudge before. This was against Atomic in game number 1. Let's take a quick look at the performance for him. So he was 12-2 and 22 with a 14-minute Ags into BKB Shiva's overwhelming blink. All of those items does kind of make sense also in this game, though. Armel versus Cox on the Pugna going mid with this, so Ember towards the safe lane. And probably one of the most interesting players to watch as well in terms of the off lane. It's Force.
Yep, and that lane is going to be very important. I think for Fnatic, it's key that you do well on the Pudge. So you need to make sure that this Beastmaster doesn't have a good time, that your Pudge does, and with that you're gonna be quite okay. Because your towers might be falling, but you are gonna have the vision advantage because of the Mirana, because of the Brewmaster. At least you know when you have the ulti of the Brewmaster and when you have the Mirana. Moonlight Shadow and you need to be strong enough that you can run straight into the enemies, and that comes down to the Pudge. If you cannot utilize those spells to get on top of Geek Fam in a good way, and if you don't have the strong Pudge to do it, the Beastmaster vision will just take over for the majority of the game. So Fnatic, I like the Pudge pick. I think it can work out, but I need to make sure that Gabby has a good time.
So, both teams need a point. That's all they need. This could be a tie series, but it also could be a 2-0. But if it is a 2-0, it is then down to the rest of the teams to decide who are going to be battling it out for the upper bracket. Because one win here leads into 11 points, or 11 map wins. You've got Purple Paradox following up behind 9. You have Spawn Team sitting at 8. These are the two contenders right now. So if Spawn Team gets a 2-0, if Purple Paradox gets a 2-0, they can still shake up the matchups, at least for the upper bracket, and potentially still have a chance of knocking out one of these teams from the top half. But Purple Paradox actually has already played all their series. Never mind, they don't actually have any more games remaining, so they're holding on to that spot. Technically, they should be through. Technically.
I mean, Fnatic and Geek Fam still both have one more series after this. So out of 4 games, both of these teams need to only get 1 win. Considering their results thus far, I think that's very likely to happen. So I'm pretty sure their upper bracket spot is already secured.
Yeah. Technically, theoretically, there's still chances, but the percentage is very small that one of these teams wouldn't be in the upper bracket.
One of them has to go through. That's just it.
But one of them is going to go through for sure. Like, 1 point already is enough for either team, as we've already mentioned a couple times, so that will be the big difference maker. DJ looking for a ward in mids. No vision placed there, so it's either on the other side or it's not placed down at all. Let's see if they find out. They're literally standing on top of it, if they're going to be finding it or not. And we'll just have that sentry with them. They're going to go for the prison into the arrow. It's still going to catch Cox, and Pugna losing his life would be a disastrous start. They're going to go for the bubble too by Roger. Buy some time. Roger's going to go down as he's going to be finished off by DJ, and Cox will get to keep his life intact. The bubble actually saves him, but I'm surprised they didn't actually just stand and surround the Pugna there. I think that would have been a much bigger kill than the Shadow Demon.
They wanted both. They wanted both, but overall it doesn't change too much. Pugna, yeah, would have been bad for Pugna because usually with the mid laners you save gold. But the big thing there is that Armel didn't get the kill. He had a high ground miss onto Roger there, and then it had to be DJ to finish it off.
He's also very low in the mid lane, so I guess Armel is maybe living off the idea that, okay, well, we weren't able to get both of them, but at least this Pugna has to be very cautious of his positioning here in this lane. Armel, usually the prison on this OD, can be cast from quite far away, even though level 1, it's not the biggest range. Actually, it is 650 all the time. I somehow remember it would have been actually smaller in the earlier levels, but it's just a duration. It used to be, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking about old Dota once again.
The spell
reminiscing
has
the past.
Times. Yeah. When everything was so awesome and stuff like that. Just kidding. Dota is better as
Never
as
said
time
that.
goes on.
Dota has been such a very different game in the past years. Wouldn't even recognize it these days.
I like the approach of Scam and Roger on the bottom lane. You start off with the disruption. I mean, yeah, you needed it for defense. Okay, speaking about defense, Earth Spirit is gonna be needing some of that. And yeah, that's the good start of the of the Pudge that we were talking about. But yeah, coming back to the bottom lane, you create illusions. You have this Blightstone on the Ember Spirit, and those illusions actually start packing quite a huge punch onto the Brewmaster.
You shouldn't be doing a massive amount of damage, but early on, you've got 2 armor on the Brewmaster, so he really is a target that does take an early beating. 5 on the Tusk, though, much harder to kill. Skem has the shards, and here come the illusions into play, but they're already moving away from it.
You can see how hard it is for them to stay there against the illusions and against the minus armor. They know how dangerous it's gonna be, so they just apply pressure and get out. I really like the way KP is going forward with that thunderclap. He's waiting for the Ember to go for the sleight of fist, and then only does he use the thunderclap. He knows that Scam can dodge that one.
KP has plenty of experience. Talking about old Dota, he's seen so many different phases of Dota in his years of being a professional player. Interesting graphical glitch there. Don't know what that was. We saw a big laser beam being shot from mid.
Got it.
Yeah, didn't catch that one. But yeah, so far so good for Fnatic. They are not stopping the Beastmaster from farming, but it's more important that the Pudge has a good time than you stopping the Beastmaster. Okay, Gabby gets very low.
Radiant have fortified their towers.
He's being dove onto the tower too, fighting against Narman. But he dies first, so no flesh heap for you. Force
Yep,
getting the kill.
I guess it makes sense for you to max out the Wild Axes. You're up against the Pudge, you're up against the Mirana. Both of the heroes can kill your boars quite easily. And the Pudge doesn't deal well with heavy damage going this way. And that's what happens once the Wild Axes start stacking up.
I think I see this more and more often where you would say, oh, they always go for boar. I think Axe build is actually dominating the Beastmaster builds these days.
Yeah, mostly.
I think we discussed a couple days ago where we're like, yeah, you always go for the boars, but it doesn't feel like that anymore.
Yeah, it's switching up. As well after we've seen that the Ancient stack even being taken down one time, so the Beastmasters can come back. But look at this, he's actually not going for the Inner Beast. And does make sense, they're both melee heroes, so you don't have that range support that is just gonna be doing the damage because of the Inner Beast. So he's not putting any points in it currently.
Yeah, technically he could for that 1 value point, but it's also going to start pushing up the lane. So unless that is his goal, to really stretch that lane far. We'll see if he decides to.
And he's not going for the Helm of the Dom immediately. Yeah, I guess that's because of the hook and the arrow. He doesn't want to give away free gold. So solid approach. Curious to see if it's going to work out, but Vlad's is still good enough to get the tower down earlier.
Yeah, I really like the Vlads. It is a Mirana game, as you mentioned, so it does make it a lot different to keep up your creeps, not giving away that extra gold. We'll see if he builds it at all, or if this is one of those games where he's considering maybe this Vlads into the nerfed Wraith Pact is still a thing.
Yeah, against these heroes, no.
Yeah, against these heroes, it shouldn't be of any value.
Like literally 0 value on that item. The only thing that it's gonna prevent a little bit is the Tusk Walrus Punch.
They're trying a mid.
About that.
Got the bubble. Prison even. Oh, Tusk takes a massive amount of damage from both Narman and Cox in a quick succession there. So the attempted kill almost ends up being one of your heroes falling.
Yeah, Pugna is not an easy hero to kill there, for sure. And they start off with the Astral. They need the Astral for once the crap comes out, either on the OD or on the Pugna, if you want to really get the kill there.
Did Roger just TP in to fill the bottle, but now the bottle's empty? Didn't even get any charges off it. Don't feel like it. Armel does get the prison out. Roger trying to get some body blocks out onto the OD. Starting to stack up the poison. Roll in from Narman. Going to be a missed one. Just get the kick though. 3 stacks of poison. Maybe the 4th one from Roger might just do the trick. They've lost Gabby in the top lane. Force winning the 1 versus 1. And without a roar, he's got level 6. They don't have the mana for it. He doesn't even need it.
Yeah, that's something that shouldn't happen. Gabby making a mistake there.
Another rolling. Oh, there we got it. Armel just get caught by Narman.
No, they do get the kill. Also, Roger didn't TP in the lane from the base. He wasn't coming to refill the bottle. I think Cox just went for that to give him the bottle, just out of you know, habit, other than really going for that. They wanted to fight in the mid lane. That was the play.
Right, that would make sense. They've been living in this mid lane for quite some time. Basically just overpowering the lane. But Pugna really mana deprived right now. Needs to get some of this regeneration out. Now rune in a minute. No bounty runes to pick up either. Jenny will just take the double bounty away from the top half of the jungle. Leaving Gabby lane alone in the lane for a bit. Arma with the roll in. They do have the roar for force, but do they want to use it? They could actually now with the dismember coming out, and Gabby, there's the roar to finish off his life. Jenny will take a lot of damage here from force, but those right clicks there. Beastmaster does right click for 80 damage. Gabby dead 3 times already in this laning stage, but still topping net worth. Who is this guy?
Yeah, I mean, his last hits have really been on point. He has gotten a couple of wars as well. He is getting a ton of CS, but still, dying is a problem. This slows down the Pudge, who otherwise would have had a perfect game. And now he needs to walk towards top. Okay, he's gonna have a TP in 4 seconds, but considering he already started walking, I'm not sure if he even uses it.
Yeah, might as well. Roger in trouble. He's got Armel, he's got DJ around him, but Cox is also making a move in, and without the prison, might just be able to get a good life drain out. There's the Decrepify, and doesn't get a target on DJ. He snowballs at the same time. He would have liked to force the ulti off of the Pugna there, put it on cooldown, make him spend a bit of extra mana before snowballing. Oh, he's just happy, you know, forced out the Decrepify.
Does DJ live? Barely.
Seems like it. Long cooldown on level 2 Slate with this Ember Spirit. KP rotating in. Januel with a long range arrow. Roger's going to tank it. And Cox, his life is going to be intact. And again,
For now.
it's the same laser beam that shows up in mid. Some kind of weird graphical glitch there. Pugna knife down. Cox. There you got the Ember Spirit now into the mid lane as well. KP does have another Thunderclap available. Norman with the kick tries to salt down the Brewmaster. There's the face boots coming in for the Ember Spirit, but he's going to get stunned up by another arrow. Norman gets killed off by Armel, and he denies the mid tower.
This is the type of fights that GeekFam are never going to be happy with the way they start. It's the Astral, and then the arrow flies out, and that just starts it perfectly for the Brewmaster to just jump in. So yeah, you do get the tower, but every single time when KP has the ult, he has to respond with it. That's why these drafts are so cool, because they're so close to each other, and GeekFam, they know what they want to do, but there's always a turnaround for Fnatic. But still, now without the split, you just go for a full-on push, and you push everyone out of the top lane as well.
And he is lined up the Dominator now with the Overlord helmet for Beastmaster as he's finished off the Vlad, so he still decides to go take that route.
Has no boots.
Armel is going to get the prison. General with the arrow. Oh, he actually cast it too early. Roar turnaround. Force maybe looking to kill for himself. Yes, he will. 1 versus 3. But Force is stronger. And here comes the rest of them. Scam and Cox making a move towards the top lane. Januel, he is pretty deep in, but Gabby under the tower. And with Norman, he could just roll on him, waiting 2 seconds for the cooldown to finish. And here we go. Here comes the drive-by straight onto Gabby. Silenced up as well from the geomantic grip, but he's still looking pretty healthy here. Gets the dismember off for some extra heals. DJ coming in with the tag team. Our arrow almost on the side as the Starstorm actually being popped by the Marana for an extra nuke. Norman dead. Gabby gets to live.
Interesting they went for that.
Bottom.
Considering they
Killing
don't have
Roger.
damage. He's gone.
Burnt down by KP. Cox is here. Skem is here. They're going to get a return kill. Maybe even a better one. But it is a 2-man rotation. 2 cores at the bottom.
It is, though, you know, Pugna immediately will run towards the mid lane. No reason to stay there. It's one of the, I think it's the fastest hero in the game in terms of movement speed. Either way, it's still very fast, so Cox is going to be getting out of the bottom lane fairly fast. I really like that Roger did make some stacks. All 3 of his cores can go for them. You can see Skem maxing out the Flame Guard. That is just why they weren't able to go for the Pudge, because Skem's skill build doesn't allow him to threaten the Pudge at all. But what it does allow him is to farm the woods really fast, and that's why this Shadow Demon stacking camps does come into play.
Gabby, 1 piece towards Aghanims. Last time he got it at 16 minutes. This one might take a bit longer. You have a sentry in the lane showing this Moonlight Shadow, so no surprise attack from Januel and Marana. And also Gabby with the Pudge just turning straight back to the jungle. Continue farming. Armel, Tumbler Toy into the prison. DJ rolling in. 3 points in tag team. Gets bubbled up. Disruption in between. And now Cox, Decrepify, Nether Blast, and... looks like a misclick life drain to me. Oh, it's on cooldown and he's got no mana anymore. Still gonna lose the Shadow Demon.
Some really nice spell usages from both sides. You can see there the DJ doesn't want to go
sure?
immediately for the... Yeah. I mean, Shadow Demon saves himself by disrupting the Tusk. Tusk doesn't use the Snowball because he knows he might need it to get out. Pugna comes over. I think he used the life drain, and then DJ immediately went for a Snowball.
No? He cast it on a creep after the Snowball came out. He dodged the Nether Blast. He cast Decrepify. We see Snowball. He dodges Nether Blast, and then he life drained a creep. But meanwhile, Gabby gonna get roared up, and the Pudge is gonna get taken down. A lot of new coming in from Genuel with the Mirana, but DJ standing his ground, fighting all the way to the end. Here comes KP. Force is a big kill. He's got a big streak on him, and they will be able to get it. They're surrounding him, and those Brewlings will finish the job. With the Cyclone throwing the Earth Spirit into the air. They're going to need a stun connection to get this one off, and here comes Cox. He finishes off the Mirana, and KP actually has to run now.
Can he run?
Earth Brewling coming out last, so he's going to be slowed up. He's inside the tree line. Does get hit by the roll once again. Bubbled up, and they're surrounding him in this one. There's nowhere to go for KP. There's an Decrepify life drain and sucking the life force out of him.
Beautiful for Geek Fam. They're just making so many things happen around this Beastmaster. Yeah, the top lane went well for him. Gabby did have a good time as well, but those couple of kills in the towards the end of the laning stage really changed the game in favor of Geek Fam. And now whoever comes close to the Beastmaster, he just dies.
What a battle here in this bot lane. Skem might actually lose this duel. Has to use the Remnant to get out. I was thinking about maybe I can do another slate. Yes, I can. Oh, misses the hammer. Oh, good moves from Skem. He's gonna quickly go back home. Remnants is placed down inside the camp. Can continue farming. That was a nice duel there. If the Snowball connected and a right click, that would have been enough to kill the Ember Spirit. And I was thinking maybe the Ember just gets a bit of distance and uses a slate, but as soon as OD and the Mirana start to show up on the screen, I was like, all right, I guess this is a good time to just use a Remnant jump. And he has 4 stick charges because of all the spells that Tusk used in that 1v1. He just got enough mana to use the slate, and it's just enough damage to kill the Tusk.
Yep, just beautiful. We're seeing both teams though getting a lot out of their lineups, but still problem with Fnatic is they can't take down a single tower.
Well, they're gonna kill Force maybe here in the top lane, and intercepted by Gabby as well, so they can't get the Earth Spirit to help him out either. Roar being used on KP, and Gabby wants this kill. He's gonna hook his friend though. KP just happens to walk in between, but it's still gonna be for the Pudge nevertheless.
They get him. Still, on the top lane, they need to get out of there. That kill is huge in terms of gold, but in terms of positioning, you don't really get much. Again, your towers are falling around the map because you can't really threaten that much until your Tusk gets a blink and and you can constantly force those fights. It's gonna be very tough for Fnatic to get out on the fight. It's always on their side of the river.
Well, hello, Mirana. Does get the arrow on the bug. No, as KP is also here. Vessel, you ain't gonna heal for a lot here with this hero, and you're not gonna heal at all. Forced to run away. Have to disseminate on Armel, and Skem will finish him off. There's no other here to share it with, though. Cyclone arrow almost works out. Skem's a bit too fast on his feet.
He had to use it there because the split was expiring, and the Mirana went for the arrow early.
Gabby get pushed around here. 4 versus 1. DJ's like, screw you, I'm going home. Oh, the roll from Norman. Okay, they see him bubble. There's the cancel. Nice, there we go. He's not going anywhere. So, not just 1, but taking 2 instead. DJ fights all the way to the end, boxing his way through the crowd.
Fnatic are still keeping themselves in it in terms of gold. The thing that is gonna change things is if Geek Fam get the Roche. That is gonna allow them to survive the fight that they otherwise wouldn't. I'm just curious to who they give it to. Both Cox and Skem are great targets for the Aegis, but I think Skem, if he gets the Aegis, then it's easier for Geek Fam to play because they can run towards the enemy super fast, and Cox is just gonna have to be minding his own position and doesn't really have to come in with the damage all that much.
So how much does this Roche advantage work for Geek Fam? Because it feels like the last few times we've seen the early Roshan being taken, it's still not proving to be the biggest. Because, you know, the Aghanims is ready on the Pudge. They're still very strong on Fnatic.
I think it's an Aegis that allows them to finally get the gold lead towards themselves because they can play aggressive enough to stop the fast farm of Fnatic. That's it. You can always overextend, but I think with just aggressive positioning that you should be able to get the gold lead at least back in your favor.
All right, Skem is gonna cut out this bottom wave right under the tier 2 tower. He's got a remnant in the top half of the map, so we can still get him back into action. Join the rest of the team. DJ finding the Hawk. Some time to finish it off, though. Meanwhile, Gabby walks into a trap, but he's trying to bait them in. And he's gonna get the bubble. The rod's still doing a lot of damage. It's slowing down Skem. H is gone. And Armel, hammer is available. Narman in the battle. He's right in front. The Force Staff as he runs out of time. Gabby with a Dismember, trying to buy some time and trying to do as much as he can to Skem. They will finish off Armel as well. Narman rolling in on him. Cox will go down, though. KP doing some work at the back line, forcing Roger away. Skem healing up in the Cyclone as his salve was running at the same time. And now KP finding himself quite alone here. Arrow does fly in. Tusk will take down Roger. DJ fighting against Skem here, but the roll coming again from Narman, just controlling the Tusk and Januel. There's just not enough damage on these two heroes anymore. They might be able to kill an SD, but are you really killing an Earth Spirit on Ember Spirit? No, sir. Team White.
I'm actually surprised that Murana didn't just run away when he saw that his Tusk was being chased down. Skem had the presence of mind not to use the steering chains onto the Tusk. He saw that he was dead and he just leaves it for the Murana. But I think the moment that the fight started, that they went onto the Ember Spirit first, is where Fnatic lost it. They need that BKB on the OD so that he can stand his ground. But also, the side of Geek Fam needs something to protect this Pugna, because Cox is always being caught by the Brewmaster, and he cannot survive. And we're seeing that he has level problems because he put so much emphasis into pushing the towers early on that he didn't get those early levels.
I have a pop-up question for you. Do you have any special name for some specific abilities?
Yes, we do.
All right, we'll get back to that as we see the hero in particular, Narman, on the Earth Spirit. Do you have anything that you call the Rolling Boulder?
That I called, you know, the Earth Spirit spell is the Rolling Boulder, so we don't have anything that we call that way other than the spell itself.
All right. Well, he's got the, I don't know where the influence is coming from, but it definitely looks like he's the size, or at least the appearance, of a spring roll. You know spring rolls, right? The,
no.
Those Asian appetizers, basically what you have, you know, those... I don't know what they're actually like. Basically, like veggies and stuff inside the wrap thing that is deep fried.
Yeah,
that was such a horrible explanation, but
I googled it. It's okay, Panda. Yeah. I know what you mean.
So we call it the spring roll, and we actually call the hero the spring roll because of it.
No, we don't. For him,
repeat after me. Kevet Kärylä.
Kevet Kärylä.
Awesome, almost got it correct. Let's see Fnatic on the low ground here. Under the vision of the wards, though, he's gonna roll in. The Kevet Kärylä just rolls in again onto the OD. Armel getting controlled, just got the prison to save himself, but there's a DD Ember right behind him. And he's just gonna clear out Armel. Skem happy to take this one on a godlike spree now. 9:04.
BKBs for both the Pugna and the OD are key here. And considering that Geek Fam currently have the advantage in terms of their overtaking the map, there's a good chance that Pugna gets it before, and that is what's gonna be even worse for Fnatic. So OD currently has more gold working towards the BKB, but that can change very, very fast. So Fnatic need a big fight. They need to make sure that this Pugna falls so that the OD can get the BKB before him.
High ground is still not an option though for GeekFam. Gonna have to wait outside. The bottom tier 2 is their target right now. That's gonna be the last outer tower. Now it's basically just holding the triangle, pushing out the waves. You know, the classic.
It's a
Maintaining
problem.
map control and choking out Fnatic because, you know, OD falling behind in farm, even if he does have a Midas.
They got him.
Brewmaster. They do catch Armel on the high ground's edge. That's a kill for them. DJ has to run away.
Without any outer towers, Fnatic, they have nowhere to fight. You have this Brewmaster hero, and he's a teamfight hero. Without towers, you're not going to be able to choose fights. You're just going to have to smoke into areas that GeekFam control. And we talked about high ground. They might not be ready for it, but after the OD kill, they can most definitely go for the push.
Oh, they're going to get a nice roll onto the Brewmaster. Almost a hook save from Gabby, but if that connected, that might have saved his life. But Gabby now taking the front. There's a nice SD bubble coming in, saving and buying some time for Skem. Skem has a huge streak on him. Might just be giving it away. Gabby on the chase. He wants the hook, the hook, the hook. That's going to miss. He's not the fisherman they hoped for. And now he's going to get turned on as they take down Gabby. Cox is also dead at the arms of KP. And Earth Spirit not going to be as lucky with his teleport away. Almost takes down the Tusk as Tusk just blinks in front of him trying to prevent his escape. But it's going to be enough.
He's going to die anyways.
Is he? Is
Sleight
he?
of fist.
Doesn't look like he is. There's going to be busy. Skem wanted it, but Skem's going to die for it. And KP with a massive streak taken away from Skem. Roger down 2. GeekFam unsuccessful with the high ground dive.
Oh, they just wanted that Tusk kill, and because of it, they gave so many heroes. Ember even made a really cool play. He dodged the Sanity's Eclipse with his ulti there in a very short distance. That's something that you don't see too often, so beautifully done by Skem, but not enough. As soon as that Pugna died, GeekFam, they just wanted more. That's the thing. They wanted those melee Raxes. They wanted those kills, and they didn't end up going that way. Only one buyback was used from Fnatic, but they're still not out of the trenches yet, because this is the thing. No outer towers. We mentioned it. You cannot find proper fights. The only reason that you were able to fight in this one is because GeekFam ran towards you. But at least something is gonna come out good for Fnatic from that one, and that is Armel very close to the BKB.
Yeah, and they're smoking up towards mid, heading towards the triangle. The most likely place to probably find someone. Norman aggressively rolling in and cliffing himself. But he's still keeping on the move. 2 vessel charges. DJ in front. Smokes are popping. He's found one. He's found enough. They know now.
Oh, they want to go fast with this one because there's no brew split, there's no BKB on the OD just yet, so if you want, you can take the Raxes now.
Gabby, 8-second BKB. He used that 9-second BKB previously in that mid-fight. It kind of sucks for Roger if he wants to keep the Pudge from getting close because he needs to save his allies with Bubble, but if he bubbles a Pudge who has Ag's Rot, that never feels good.
Yeah, 2 things that can remove the Pudge out of the game: the Astral and the Disruption.
Oh no, not like this, not like this, DJ. He's gonna be already taken down a half. They missed their opportunity. Roar onto Brewmaster. Can they blow him up for free? Oh, there's the prison. Armel saving his life of the BKB on Gabby. Is already running low, but can they finish off the Beast with his own BKB? DJ finding Roger in the river. Force is gonna go down. Armel chasing Skem. Skem's gonna be the target that he wants to focus on. Norman gonna get bubbled up. They're gonna look for Roger again. The hammer drop down. The Gold Scepter, or actually the Decrepify, keeping him alive for a little bit longer. Maybe just enough. Januel using all of his leaf charges and can't find the SD. But now it's Skem. He has to jump away. He's got the chains on the Brewmaster. He's trying to keep them around and away. The hook connects. He jumps on the Remnant. Cox coming in for the big popped up suck onto the Marana. Not enough. Skem down. BKB gonna get silenced up. Gabby charging straight to the Pugna. Armel gonna keep him away. And now the Cox Pugna, he's in trouble again. Another prison. He's down. And now Gabby, he's gonna lose his life in return. Norman and Roger fighting to the end. And these two seem to be still capable of taking down big heroes like Pudge. What an extended fight all the way to the tier 2 tower.
The Symphony of Fails at the start of the fight for Fnatic actually ended up being a perfect fight for them because GeekFam were like, okay, they messed up, let's go. But they went onto the Brewmaster. You're up against the OD. You can never hope that you're going to be able to burst someone down without them getting their spells off. It is never going to happen in this game for GeekFam, and they forgot about that one. They went for the burst damage. Their lineup isn't that good at it either, other than the Pugna. They don't really have much to play with, and then you get the Astral onto the Brewmaster. The split comes out at that point on. GeekFam are already a little bit too invested. They lose so much resources, and then it's very easy for Fnatic to run them down.
Got it.
Net worth is tied. The lead that GeekFam also had this game has economy-wise diminished. We're 50-50. Exactly even.
OD though having the BKB, you could see how much it changes there. You don't have a clear target. That's GeekFam's target, the OD. But Armel keeps his distance, and with the BKB, once he goes in, it's all gonna be fine.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Big items coming up, especially in the form of BKB for Pugna, the Octarine core. Right after that, Fnatic smoking up aggressively straight to the triangle. Smoke up from GeekFam. They're going to get caught off guard. They're not going to see this one coming. Genual, though. Did they see them? I think they might have.
It was too deep.
It was too deep. I mean, this was a smoke where they just stopped. As Force's smoke popped, and so did Genual. Because of that happening, Fnatic can't jump him.
I'm kind of seeing GeekFam is maybe being better off as focusing a little bit more on pushing in the lanes, because Fnatic can't deal with the lanes too well, and they don't have any outer towers to mount up a fight onto. So if you push out the lanes, you're always going to be able to read Fnatic, and at some point in those transitions between the lane, they're going to mess up and leave one hero behind. That is when GeekFam should strike.
Well, they are spreading out on the map right now. Fnatic, we're suspecting them to be still smoked up. They are kind of stacked right next to each other's. Another smoke in Morana's backpack. Not going to be using it. Fighting over Roche control. GeekFam's just, they're just farming for the time being. Three heroes in the jungle at the same time.
Fnatic are forcing a fight. They feel like they're stronger, and they want to bait GeekFam in here. They also take Roche relatively fast with the OD.
Well,
but look at the lanes.
Is very low right now. Yep, their top lane's pushing in. Bottom lane is pushing in. Mid wave only in a reasonable spot. But
Fnatic needs this Roche.
They have to make a real big assessment here. Do they force Roshan, or do they force a fight before it? GeekFam has a superior position. And it feels like GeekFam's just waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting to see heroes pushing out the waves, especially the bottom one. Once someone is showing on the bottom, that is when you'll strike. You don't want to go if someone is on top because they can connect just way too fast. And GeekFam also have a really good ward there on the high ground, but they need Fnatic to disperse. You don't want to take a straight up 5 versus 5. You're most likely losing that one.
KP in the river. Gonna go back into the pit. Arrow onto Roshan. And this might just be the time that they were waiting for GeekFam. Do they react fast enough? They need to get in there. Still 100 HP. Norman charging in into the Rose Pit. Rose very low. Is going to be taking the Aegis for themselves. Cox is going to take it. Gappy down. Norman down. Roger down. 3 casualties already at the beginning of the fight. And no carry for Fnatic. They do get themselves at least DJ onto the high ground, but the TP cancel on Armel. He ain't going anywhere. No BKB. Slowed up by Decrepify and burned down and halted. Fnatic losing Roche and both of their 2 big cores.
When there are no BKBs on their cores, they can't do much. That is why BKB charges are so important. And now they're getting low. Both the Pudge and OD are down to 7. And you could see there, Cox even got the Aegis. And at that point, you start running. You don't have the BKB. You used it to try to secure the Aegis. Your Pudge died. The fight is over. Fnatic have to bail. But when you look at the chase of both teams, it's just amazing. Escape is just not an option.
And onto the high ground they go. We talked about Pugna's pushing power. It is really good, but so is this Ember now with the Desolator and the Beastmaster. It's not going to take them too long to finish these racks. And without any outer towers, it's always a risk of losing even more than just one lane. KP getting sucked. He's already down a half. Gabby going aggressive, but the bubble safe from Roger, even though he's in the front line. He's going still for Force. Gabby wants this kill. Cox giving the healing battery. Force might live, but no. Genuine hunts him down. And GeekFam, with just one push, end up losing so many heroes for it. They lost the Aegis. They lost 3 heroes in the process. Ember gets out. Ember gets out.
They killed the Pugna there because Pudge's cooldown of the ulti got reduced by the shard from the Roche. DJ did manage to get the shards from the Roche pit, so at least something. Pugna probably would have lived there. The physical damage was quite high, but I think he was out with the TP. In the end, they stop him. But here it shows just how much vision and positioning are important for GeekFam. If they don't have it, Fnatic are just stronger. If it's Fnatic getting the first jump out, that was without the OD, mind you, and they still overwhelmed the fight.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Fnatic getting some control now on a GeekFam side of the map. It felt like GeekFam who has been the team in charge, at least of the map. But Fnatic showing exactly why they're a top tier team. Can still bounce back from any situation, and only losing the range racks, so not a huge loss.
No, not at all. You did use the glyph though, so for the next 3 minutes, Fnatic have to be very careful how they approach fights. I think this is the time now for Fnatic to start stacking up on those buybacks, because Fnatic, if they're dying together, it's gonna be on the opponent's side of the map. So you might have time to respawn, but you most definitely need to have the buybacks because the push of GeekFam is so fast.
So what does GeekFam want to do right now? Smoke up again? Just try to establish some map control?
Map control and push out the waves. That is what they're good at. Because you don't want to go straight up for a fight. You're gonna know Fnatic are always somewhat close to each other, so kind of find out which parts of the map Fnatic are playing. Now you know that they're on the bottom, and you make sure that the top lane is pushed in heavily, and then you're trying to find Fnatic on that transition.
Scam getting closer to a Daedalus is gonna get a big damage up from it. Desolator already removing the armor from all these heroes. Every slate tick will hit every single hero, and they get the debuff from it. And Armel's been scouted out, and there's a roll from Norman. Finding Armel, forces to BKB early. KP charging in the back. The Roar's going to be connecting. Can they blow him up? Snowball save just in time. It's going to cancel out the remaining duration of the stun. Aaron Norman down a half HP. Gabby still has his BKB. They're on the chase for Mirana right now. They changed targets. Here comes the MLS though. Mirana fighting against them as the Lotus Orb still alive against the Bubble save. Here comes Gabby charging in onto Norman. Earth Spirit in trouble. Fnatic seems like they have now control of the fight, and they find the kills which GeekFam weren't able to get. Nonta Force, KP, Armel cancels his teleport. You're not going anywhere. You're mine.
Great initiation from GeekFam. Bad kick from Norman. He kicked the OD to the side. He didn't kick him towards the Beastmaster. The BKB comes out. It allows Armel to survive for the duration of the roar. He gets saved by the snowball as well. And after that, it's history. Fnatic do get together. And we already talked about it multiple times. If it's a 5 versus 5, Fnatic will win. GeekFam, they find the opening, but they also need to have the spell usage on point.
It's a couple team fights now in a row for Fnatic. Even though the Roshan pit fight was one which they did struggle with. They were already using resources for it. The fights after have been successful. We'll be able to get this tier 2 tower out of the way, and that is their first lane towards GeekFam's base, now open.
Yep, and all of the lanes are pushing in as well. So Fnatic are going to be able to find another fight. Find a couple of pickoffs as well while GeekFam push that out. GeekFam are going to have to be very, very careful what they do. They're going to need to smoke up just to get outside of the map. But they can never really go into a full engagement. And it is proving to be a problem for them. They are dancing around Fnatic a bit. But if you cannot finish off any of the heroes, you're just gone. We saw in that fight, even with the OD BKB being forced out at the start of the fight, if he doesn't die, GeekFam are still gonna lose.
GeekFam now pushing out the top wave and getting into the enemy jungle, while Fnatic looking for another tier 2 tower, which they can easily take. It's pretty much undefended. GeekFam not gonna even try to push their luck against Fnatic by defending this tier 2 in bot. They're just gonna let it fall.
You can't do it. You're actually happy that you're seeing everyone from Fnatic, or you assume that they're all there. Fnatic are always together in this game, so you just use that time to push out the lanes and again try to find the same opening that you just did.
Might just consider high ground, but the OD is not willing to join, so I guess that's also a call not to tempt fate. Brewmaster going for a nullifier. What do you think about this?
What is he actually wanting to nullify? The Pugna is the target, I guess. The Crepify is something that is being annoying to them. There's a Force, there's a Glimmer.
The Decrep target, I guess.
I think there are better items. I'd actually be okay with KP going for an Axe, having the Primal Companion just to help you out with the push. I'd kind of see more impact from that, but maybe Fnatic are like, okay, we're not losing this game for sure, we just need to keep killing them, and they're not even thinking about the high ground. I'm just thinking if this Ember can get strong enough, maybe get a Rapier right now, when the damage output becomes high enough, that Fnatic lose fights.
He's kinda full on inventory. Can still fill in the Axe Blessing at some point. That could probably come from future Roshans, so he's not buying it. But I like the idea of Rapier, for sure. If you need to max out on damage, might as well go for it. And
Fnatic, no buybacks. They're going for a fight and they have no buybacks. And GeekFam, they
have a couple, but they just don't have them on their big cores.
And it's true for GeekFam as well. So yeah, no advantage there. For a second, I thought that GeekFam had all the buybacks on the cores, but they just finished the data list, so obviously Scam won't have it.
But there is a fresh Hex on Armel, and that Hex is just pure poison for the Ember.
Witchbane is big for the Ember. Against the OD,
Gabby.
That's actually so much damage.
Oh, that was cheeky. He was suspecting. He was that shows experience. It's like somebody might be around this area, so he attempts the hook here when the enemy is not too far away. Kind of looks like some kind of a poison sad face sideways there, but Gabby is going to go in. He's going to get the hook. He's going to find the Pugna. Armel on the back line. Next up is the SD down, and he's going to come for the buyback as well. BKB's all over the board. Armel's going to go down. They're going to lose themselves. The OD Pugna fighting in the low ground, healing himself up, but it's not going to be enough. And they're looking for Gabby. Gabby is down as well, and those are the two cores without the buybacks that they just finished out of the way. Januel's going to go down as well, and GeekFam, they lose the Pugna, but they get 3 for it. Roshan in 20 seconds, and it still favors them because they are going to be dead for at least 70.
Scam's data list changed the fight there completely from what we've seen in the previous ones. OD was like half HP, bam, one sleight of fist and he's dead. Yeah, went a little bit too deep on the OD. That's why I was hesitant about the Hex pickup for the OD. It's great for initiation, it's great for catching people, but the thing is, you want to fight and you want survivability on this OD, so I expected him to go for some armor. Yeah, they're going for it.
They probably saw the Hex on OD in the fight. Like, he probably can't afford buyback. That's going to be one. It's going to be the Mirana. KP trying his best to slow down the push. Here goes DJ Dota. Jesus. He charges in, and he's trying to hold the front. His BKB is still running, tanking some hits, and buying time. 20 seconds for the OD, but they're losing members. KP down. KP has a buyback. Tusk coming in with a buyback as well. Onto the tier 4 tower. Can GeekFam do it? They're going to go for the all-in push. That solo. The Ancient is now open. DJ charging in again. The arrow's going to be connecting with the Normanum's going to go down on 4. Still trying his best on the front, but it's not going to be enough for, is it? Down a half they go. It's so close to finishing the game here. Fnatic still holding on to scraps. It's so close. 300 HP. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Can they? Oh, they finally got it. Skem ends up dying in the end, but oh my goodness, what a fight to the end. GeekFam snatched victory under the eyes of Fnatic. And you said it, Harry. They didn't have the buybacks on the cores. It was a 70-second window, and even that, just 5 to 10 seconds on top of that, the Ancient falls. Man.
Oh, the biggest difference definitely in this game has been the ability of GeekFam to push. That's it. That's the only thing that made a difference. Fnatic had a stronger team fight, but when your towers are down, it's very hard to find it. And it was always GeekFam one big fight away from winning the game. And finally, they find it. They were ready on their vision. Fnatic came in. They thought they were going to be getting multiple kills in that fight before going down, so they'll have the buybacks either way. But it didn't happen. They only got the supports down, not enough gold. They couldn't buy back, and GeekFam in the end, they get the victory.
Huge win to come out to the end, because it was like Fnatic's game basically to win from that stage forward. Like you said, the 5v5 fights are going for Fnatic, and they went several times in a row. But that one battle, that one item pickup for Skem and Beastmaster having the AC, Daedalus AC at the same time, that physical damage output was just nuts. Like, the focusing from Fnatic in that team fight was obviously super difficult. Like, there's so many BKBs on both. There's 4 on each team. And you only find a Pugna isolated on the low ground, but he's just outside of vision, just outside of range, that he's only dying to the rot from Pudge, but Pudge finding himself very alone on that high ground position, and Armel getting blown up right away at the start of the fight, despite having that Hex to begin with, and it just wasn't enough. Like, that was a great turnaround from GeekFam, and understanding, let's not wait for Roshan. We've got the aggression, let's just go for it, and the all-in push, it paid off.
They know that the fights aren't always going to go their way. But yeah, they caught the Pugna with the hook, actually. He got the BKB off. That's why the Pugna wasn't dying that fast. And then you're like, okay, this is a perfect target that we caught. They don't have the damage, but you didn't know that the AC and the Daedalus came out. And that is what just created such a big difference in that fight. OD, without any armor items, didn't stand a chance.
That's game 1, ladies and gents. We said it's going to be an entertaining series, and game 1 definitely proves to be exactly that. Game 2, hopefully, is going to be even better than what we just saw.